Crittenden County Basketball would like to thank these fine sponsors: Mark Williams, Whitetail Properties, re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney, Farmers Bank and Trust, Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance, First United Bank in Marion, elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney, Colby Davis and West Kentucky Launchpad, Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land, Lone Star Construction, Ellington Detailing, Roy Crane's Tire and Equipment Rental, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Jared Champion at JRC Kennels, Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness, Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors, H&R Block of Marion, and Stark's Sports Training.
Welcome back, Rocket Nation. My name is Trey Stanton. I'm your host for this week's coaching show. We're joined by the girls basketball coach, Coach Shannon Hodge. Coach Shannon Hodge, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So it's been a little bit since we have been back on here, and since then you have went, as just small people from small town Kentucky, took a long trip, went down to Florida. So tell me about your Florida trip and how that went.
Yeah, and golly, it wasn't very long ago, but it seems like it's been a while. We've really have traveled a lot, played a lot of games on the road, but Florida was great. That's about the 7th or 8th time we've taken that trip in the program. Try to do it every 3rd or 4th year to get everybody in the program a chance to go. But we had a lot of fun going to the parks and hanging out in the hotel and things like that. But the competition was really good. We wanted to go down there. When they ask you about your team, you tell them, returning starters and what kind of year you're expected to have, and they match you up in brackets like that. So we played schools that were quite a bit bigger than us, but I felt like, we competed really well. We went 2-1, and we're up on the team that we lost to early, and relinquished that lead, and we felt like probably we should have won, but so it was a good experience, when you play in back-to-back days. So I wanted to get that experience for tournament time down the road maybe. So all in all, a good trip. Our travel went well, everything was smooth, and everybody had a great time.
Good. So on the basketball side, where did you see your girls grow the most from this little trip? Maybe it was just like their friendships just getting better. Maybe that's off the court, on the court, or maybe it was just their style of play. Style of play just got better.
Well, of course you grow together on and off the floor. Every experience that you have, and they got to spend time away from home together, and so that's always good off the floor. This group's pretty close anyway, but I think they had some valuable time off the floor. On the floor, like I said, I think just the different experiences, that back-to-back game experience. When you're tired, you got to fight through, because you're jet lagged a little bit, and then you're playing a game. And in that third game, I think we learned a lot about ourselves. We played a kid that was 6'5", and it was actually her brother played at Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so she was legit. She's going to Maryland and playing. And so we decided that we would play boxing one on her. And I've played that, I can count on one hand the number of times in my career that I've had my team do that. And we've never practiced it. And so it was something that was a challenge to try to do without practice. But we did that well. And, she still scored a lot of points, but we didn't give up easy points to her teammates, and she had to work for what she got. So I think just having some success, doing something that we didn't have practice to work on, will give us that experience for, again, maybe down the road when we get into the postseason this year and you have to play back-to-back.
Absolutely. So, you go down there, like you said, you went 2-1, you come back, you get 2 straight, and then something a little bit dicey happened. We drop a game in the All-A when we go to Dawson and play Lyon County. That's a team that feels like we always split with them every year. Whether if we go down in the regular season and then we win All-A, or just like this year we won the regular season, lost in all to them. So tell me about, like, you know, we kind of talked off camera about, like, we didn't play our best basketball.
No.
You know, and why do you think that? You know, we talked about shooting 17% in the first half, and that's just not going to win ball games.
Right.
But we didn't give up on defense. The ball just didn't fall through, and a couple things didn't happen. So tell me your reaction to that game.
Well, very disappointing that we didn't perform better than we did that night. You know, that's been a tournament that we felt like was ours. It was a tournament this year that we felt like, you know, we're good enough to win. Lyon County, you know, you give Lyon County credit. I mean, they're a good basketball team. They really are. And the one thing you're going to get from them night in and night out is they play extremely hard. And I think, you know, their confidence has grown. They just came off being very successful over Christmas break as well. And so, you know, we weren't able to put the ball in the basket in the first half for whatever reason. And, you know, when the ball doesn't go in the basket, you can't get into your press that we normally use that gets us some easy stuff. And, you know, that just didn't happen. I feel like very proud of the girls for coming back because we're down, you know, double digits at the half, I think. And we came back and took the lead. So we did make some shots. We did play some pretty good defense in spurts, but, you know, we just gave up too many things off ball screens, or we didn't close out on shooters. And then in return, we weren't real disciplined offensively ourselves. And when we were up a couple buckets, I think, with a couple minutes to go, and I think we shot kind of an untimely challenge shot that gave them the ball back, and you know, it just wasn't our night for whatever reason, and we're very disappointed. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, that loss, I mean, losing is one thing, but losing when you feel like you have a really good chance to win is something that's hard to take. And, you know, we had talked about this being one of our big goals of the year, and so it is disappointing, but you have to choose how you let that affect you the rest of the year, and we can either use it as fuel for trying to continue to get better, and you know, we've worked really hard at some things that we felt like we were deficient in that night, the last couple of practices that we've had, and I feel like we've gotten better, and I think you know, that confidence is going to grow as long as we'll continue to make that choice daily to come in and get better. Then, you know, we have other goals that we're trying to reach, and so we'll continue to look at those.
Yeah. And, you know, talking just to people around the program, some of the girls, you know, they was upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you talk to them about how they were upset, now my next thought is how will they respond? Mm-hmm. So last night you go out and you bounce back against Trigg County.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how you're now going to use this momentum to when you got to play a very close district game, something that a lot of the fans do come out for, because it is, you know, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you play Livingston. So tell me about how that bounce back felt to you, and then what you've seen from the girls.
Well, I was proud of us last night. I felt like we came out and played really hard. We shot the ball better. And so we just have to continue to do that night in and night out. We can't take any district game for granted. I was watching a while ago our game with Livingston from, you know, back before Christmas, and we shot the ball extremely well early. And so, you know, we've got to continue to try to find ways to get easy buckets in transition, to get buckets off of our defense, and then I think the long ball goes a little bit easier when we do that. And so just all those fundamental things you got to continue to do well, and we've got to continue to play with confidence. We can't let that one loss defeat us as far as what we feel like we can do in the rest of the game. So this week was huge with the 2 district games, and so you know, we're just going to come out and play hard, you know, in front of Rocket Nation. We love playing in Rocket Arena, and I think that gives us a little extra energy as well. And Big Blue Nation all does that, you know, Rocket Nation does that for us. So we'll be ready.
So we got this big game coming up, and in big games, your big players have to step up. And this person has stepped up even though she's been young, and she's here in studio about to come on and talk to me. So tell me about Jordan and how she's done so far and the growth you've seen her make to be one of the leaders on this team, even though she's young.
Well, Jordan worked really hard over the summer on her shot and ball handling and things like that. And she played a lot of games with her AAU team, and so, she got a lot better. And you know, I've been challenging her to try to become more vocal and to be more of a leader. You know, I think she and Anna, I've been on them hard the last 2 years to be verbal leaders for our team, and so she's, I think, finally realizing that is some of her responsibility, and she's becoming more accountable. And you know, she's seen the ball go in a little bit, so her confidence in her shot, I think, game time is growing. And you know, there's not a lot of people that can stay in front of her in a one-on-one situation. And so, you know, she's starting to see those opportunities to use that to her advantage, as well as being able to set her teammates up. And the thing I've been really proud of her for, you know, is defense. She's played some really good defense in this season, and I hope she'll continue that, and you know, just continue to grow. As I think, you know, just the mental stuff about the game, shot selection, recognizing defenses, knowing when to push and when to hold up, and that kind of thing is just something that I want to see her get better and better at. And you know, even though we're halfway through this season, that's not something that we want to continue to challenge ourselves to do better on a daily basis. So that'll be something we continue to talk about.
And then somebody who has grown up under you in front of our eyes into this poster child, essentially, for women's Rocket basketball is Anna Boone, and we've seen her flourish, you know, as she's gotten older, and she's scored all these points, which we'll talk about in a minute. But tell me how this year alone, how she has been, you know, that girl for this basketball team.
Well, you know, Anna's always been able to put the ball in the bucket, and she continues to do that for us. And I think as the rest of our team has grown around her, it hasn't been as imperative for her to score mega points every night. But I think the true basketball mind and, you know, basketball person can watch Anna play and see that scoring is not the only thing that she does for our basketball team. You know, she rebounds well. She, you know, we love having the ball in her hands, and if people will get out and run in front of her, she's going to put the ball where they need it to score in transition. And so, you know, she just does so much more. She's so long. She causes people fits defensively, you know, in our press or in our half court defense. And you know, when Anna plays with the energy that she's capable of playing with on both ends of the floor, she's extremely dangerous. And you know, she was the player of the year in the region 2 years ago as a sophomore, and that year she scored a lot of points. And like I said, she hasn't scored that many points on a game-by-game basis, but our team has gotten better around her, so she hasn't had to. And we're really a better team when we've got, you know, 5 people scoring and not just 1 or 2. And you know, it doesn't bother her. I think she's an extremely unselfish player, and she's just as happy for our team to win as she is to score a lot of points. So that says something about her too. You know, and so like I said, she's going to be one that I'm going to continue, just like Jordan, pressing her and pushing her to, just from a basketball IQ perspective, continue to play smarter and continue to play harder and just try to lead our team to accomplish the goals that we have left on that list to accomplish in this latter part of the season.
And you've seen her score all these points, and very rarely do we see a girl get to a point where we're looking to see her hit this on Friday, which is 2,000. So tell me how that feels to have another girl, you know, hit that milestone.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, Taylor Guest did it a few years ago, and now to have Anna in that position, you know, she's going to get it. And yes, it's a testament not only to her but to our program and to the other kids that are playing with her too. But you know, she's just a very talented young lady, and so I'm excited for her and for what that does for our program as well. You know, and you see when you continue to see players accomplish these milestones, you know, it's just a neat thing as a coach to see them do that, and to see them do that within a team that is being successful, and see them being the unselfish people that they are too. It's pretty neat.
Well, Miss Hodge, I want to thank you for being on this episode so far. I want to thank you for talking about the girls. So now we got to do the fun part, and that's to bring them on and talk to them. So the Rocket fans will be right back.
Lady Rockets and Rockets want to thank the following businesses for supporting digital basketball content this season.
Mark Williams and Whitetail Properties.
Re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney.
Farmers Bank and Trust.
Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling.
Livingston Hospital.
H&H Home and Hardware.
Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance.
First United Bank in Marion.
Elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney.
Colby Davis in West Kentucky Launchpad.
Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land.
Lone Star Construction.
Ellington Detailing.
Roy Crane Tire and Equipment Rental.
Johnson's Furniture and Appliance.
Jared Champion at JRC Kennels.
Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness.
Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors.
H&R Block, Marion, Kentucky. And Stark's Sports Training.
Welcome back, Rocket Nation. My name is Trace, and here we are with Anna Boone and Jordan Hodge. So, girls, we're going to keep it simple right now. We just got done talking to Miss Coach Hodge, and the first question I asked her was about Florida. So, tell me, Jordan, start with you first since you're younger. Tell me about how it felt to go on a Florida trip with all the girls.
It was super fun, especially to play like tougher competition and be able to ball with my team was really fun too.
What do you think about it, Anna?
The park was really fun. Getting to stay in a hotel with all of your teammates is obviously pretty fun. And just the growth that we got together, we all bonded. And playing was fun too. It was connected us on a deeper level.
How did it feel to play against a girl like, Mimi Thier, I think is, the name they call her. How was that to play against a girl like that who is going to a place like Maryland? Like, we don't see that often around here. So how did that feel from your perspective?
She was tough. Like, any shot she had to get, she had to work hard for it. But it gave us a lot more confidence knowing that if we can stop her, we can stop anybody else that are around here. And just to play strong, play physical, and you can see the outcome.
Jordan, what did you think of it?
Just having to adjust our play to like do something different, trying to box in one, and was very proud of how we played for that.
So that Florida trip kind of marked like halfway throughout y'all's, schedule on paper, what you've got so far. And how did it feel now that you get to the halfway point? Now we're on the back half. So how did y'all feel the first half of the year went, and then how we look going into this second half? Anna, we'll start with you.
The first half of the season, I feel like we did pretty good. I feel like some games we could have played better and had the outcome that we wanted. But as a senior, it's kind of sad knowing it's come towards the end. But I think we're gaining a lot of new tools and just in a better spot for the rest of the season.
What do you think, Jordan?
I think it's good having a team where everybody can score. I think we need to rebound better second half for sure, and just win the games at big games.
So Jordan, you kind of alluded to team adjustments, and I want to talk about you specifically for a second. Something that everybody sees from you is your offense. Especially y'all two. Y'all two score. Y'all are two leading scorers. We see that. But something more specifically that more people that are very into basketball see is like your defense. So I want you to tell me how it feels in your, when you get out on the court, how it feels to be one of the better defenders on the court and then translate that. So just tell me about, your mindset and how you want to play when you play defense.
Well, we're supposed to be defensive dogs, so trying to just not let people get around my hip and just help the team whatever I can do.
Who do you think taught you more defense better? Your dad or your mom?
I guess my mom.
Your mom?
Yeah, I'll give her the credit.
So you say defensive dogs. Are you supposed to bark when you're out there on defense?
I think she wants us to.
Wants us to, of course. And I see you out there. You have a lot of passion and confidence out there. Where does that come from? Does it come from you being on defense and getting to be just, you just get to do you, or does it come from your offense and you just being able to score?
I think it comes from both. The energy from the team really too helps a lot.
Anna, so far, what do you think you, as a team, and then you personally have done to be so successful in this part of the year?
As a team, I think we've done great passing, really sharing the ball, letting everybody try and get their score. And then me, I feel like I've tried to direct the offense more because everybody looks at me to get a play going, get us all moving. And so I feel like I've done that better than I have the years before.
Jordan, what do you think you've learned from Anna, from all the years that y'all have played together to this point where now she's a senior and you're one of the younger people, but you have to step up and play this big role. What do you think you've learned from her, whether that's on the court or off the court?
She's taught me a lot, especially just about being confident. She's always one of my biggest cheerleaders on the floor, and she also can score really good, so it takes some moves from her too.
So you still moves from her, is that what you're saying?
A little bit.
A little bit, that's okay. So, Anna, this is something that a lot of people don't get to ask people in basketball about. You are on pace to become the second girl in Crittenden County history to score 2,000 points. How does that feel, first off?
It's like a great accomplishment to get. It really shows all the time and effort and hard work that I've put into basketball. After watching Taylor, got to play with her, learn a ton from her, and then just keep it going and play out there for the community and for all the little girls that look up to us, and it feels great.
Jordan, how does it feel to see Anna, hit that milestone?
Feels really good. I'm very proud of her. She works hard, and she's a great player.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous for her?
I'm not nervous for her. She can get it.
I love the confidence. So I've asked you these questions that you had to think about. Now I don't want you to think too much. Now I'm gonna ask you, talk to Elliot how y'all got a song that y'all play, but y'all personally, what is like a pregame ritual that y'all have? And whoever.
I can go first.
Okay.
So every game, Chloe has to braid my hair, and it has to be a ponytail and 2 braids. And if I don't, then I don't like it.
Why so specific?
I don't know. I just wore that one time, had 20, and then I wore it ever since, and I had pretty good games every time. So.
What about you, Jordan?
Well, I should braid Elliot's hair for every game.
Oh,
We listen to our song, then we play Let the Dogs Out, and then we eat our dog food and drink our rocket fuel. Then we pray, and we're good.
I love that. So we'll throw it back a little bit, and it could be this year or whenever. Jordan, I'll start with you. What has been your favorite basketball memory?
I think going to Orlando this year, that was like the most fun trip we've been on. Really great teams on, and it was great.
What about you, Anna?
There's so many. Sometimes we'll just sit in the locker room and talk about all the funny things that have happened, but Orlando was definitely fun. It was fun.
Now, how many times have you been to Orlando?
That was our second time.
That was your second time. Was this second trip better because you are one of the older ones, and so you gotta kind of do it yourself and show them around and like what kind of fun y'all can have?
Yeah, the first year we went with Nally and Taylor, so we kind of followed them around like little puppies, and now we have the little puppies following us. So it was just a great experience.
Absolutely. And so this game Friday, we're gonna play Livingston. How does the energy into this game prepare you to play this? Go ahead, Jordan.
Just having Rocket Nation behind us is great. Getting a win, starting the streak again is good. So we just need to come out, play hard, rebound, and do our thing.
So Anna, after you get your 2K, what is your next milestone that you want to go for?
I mean, I can aim to try and pass Taylor, but that's a long shot. So just to keep helping my team get better and get them some points and just share the ball.
Y'all have done a great job, and I want to thank y'all for coming on here. Rocket Nation, we play on Friday against Livingston. Go out and support these girls. Let's be the loudest we can be. Let's break the stadium. Let's just do what we do. Thank y'all. We will be back next week.
Crittenden County Basketball would like to thank these fine sponsors: Mark Williams, Whitetail Properties, re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney, Farmers Bank and Trust, Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance, First United Bank in Marion, elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney, Colby Davis and West Kentucky Launchpad, Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land, Lone Star Construction, Ellington Detailing, Roy Crane's Tire and Equipment Rental, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Jared Champion at JRC Kennels, Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness, Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors, H&R Block of Marion and Stark's Sports Training.